Hi, my name is River. I'm a 29-year-old artist living in the Pacific Northwest in a 19-foot traditionally built Mongolian yurt, or a ger as they're more correctly called. And today is a weird transition day where I don't have the cover over the dome, so there's a lot of natural light in there. I thought it would be a good day to give you a tour. I've been living in this ger for, let's see, June, July, August, September, about 4.5 months. And so I did show a little tour of the inside by candlelight when I first moved in, but now I've really honed in my whole setup, how it's organized to be functional, and I want to share that with you today. Let's go inside. I just recently had the rotting part of the door sort of DIY fixed, so that's fun. The door is hand painted. And let me adjust the lighting here. The door is quite short, but I've gotten used to bending down when I come in here in order to be able to see better. When you first come in, you're going to notice the stove is right in the middle and everything else is oriented around it. The dome is open right now, and I'm just going to start the tour going clockwise, starting over here. So right as you come in, I have a little nightstand thing that I use as a drawer. It has like a little catch-all thing on the top for my phone charger, my keys, etc. Not super cute, but very functional. And it has a little bear statue, and I have some playing cards, my cribbage board, my tambourine, and I keep a bunch of random stuff in the top drawer. It's kind of like a junk drawer. I have a couple of those, and extra little bags, fanny packs, etc. If we keep going over to the right, I have this huge steamer trunk that I got from my parents when they moved and downsized their house. I keep a basket of things that I'm going to hand wash over on the right, and then my 3 main bags that I use constantly. I have a bag for like toiletries, shower stuff, a bag for electronics, and then a little backpacking bag. I also do hang up some stuff by the front. I have an apron that I made. I have a little horse vest that I wear pretty frequently. And yeah, let's keep going. So in this little crevice, because everything kind of creates these little triangles because the yurt is a circle and the furniture is usually rectangular, I have my baby Taylor guitar and 2 yoga mats. This is my couch. It is a chaise lounge that my Nana gave me that I had been admiring and love since I was a little kid. So it's really cool that I have it now. The couch is off-white and I like to keep it clean and also cozy. So I have a couple blankets over it. There's actually like 2 blankets and then more blankets that I have kind of tucked under it as just extra storage. And I can also pull them out if I'm relaxing. I have this little table, which is also from my parents. That's been around since I was a kid. It's pretty beat up, but it works well as a side table and I can move it around. I have my sort of like candelabra here, which holds 3 taper candles, which provides a lot of light. And my crochet stuff is right here. I love to sit here and crochet. I have a little lamp just attached to one of the horsehair ropes or camel hair ropes. I can't remember which are horse and which are camel hair. It doesn't put very much pressure on it, and that's just for when I need a little bit more overhead light when I'm crafting. I made this piece of artwork that's right here and a couple of the other ones that are in the yurt. Over here, I have my bookshelf area, which is pretty messy, unfortunately. This kind of is what it is. I had so many books I had to leave behind, and I am struggling to fit all of the other ones in here. But yeah, basically I have books in here. On the top shelf, I have some magical stuff. This is a box that I made, has some magical stuff in there. I have my tarot and oracle cards over here. These things, these little ramekin, I don't know, words. Ceramic containers are full of Polaroids that I have, and these little dolls are from Peru when I was there for 2 months when I was 14. Underneath, I have these are actually all vintage black walnut 1930s drawers from a vanity that I had that my ex got rid of the main part of it, which sucked, but I salvaged the drawers before he did that. Not the most recent ex, if you care about the lore, really old one. But yeah, cool drawers. I keep extra bath stuff in here. Like I have a gallon jug of my herbal shampoo. I have my contacts in there. And then these 3 containers all have fabric for sewing projects. I had to severely downsize my sewing collection as well. I used to have a whole sewing room office. Don't have that anymore. But I did rehome my collection to my friend's house, and I can always go get stuff from there if I need to. I have this really cool sewing box that my dad made for my mom that she didn't want anymore when I was a little kid, and it's got a bunch of my notions and whatnot in there. Moving on, you can't really see because they're all black, but I keep all of my camera gear in this little crevice. This is another piece of artwork that I made. And now we're moving on to the bed area. Oh, maybe I should adjust the lighting. Hold on. Yeah, I normally have a large king sheet over the whole bed. I've been training my dog Romeo to stop and wait for me to wipe him down before he comes inside, but he still is, a dog that is outside most of the day, and he gets a lot of dust and debris on him no matter how much I wipe him down, and he sleeps with me on top of the bed. So I have a big sheet that normally goes under it. It's in the wash right now that he sleeps on, so he's not getting dust inside the bed. This is a quilt that my grandma made me as a graduation present. I was the first kid in the family to get to pick the colors for their quilt, and as you can tell by the rest of the yurt, these are still colors I love. This is a hemp quilt. Well, I guess it's kind of like a quilt. It's really just like a comforter that is pretty old, and I've patched it up. I love it. And underneath there is a down duvet cover, which really helps trap the warmth. I'm able to sleep in here when it's 40 degrees before I even had the stove going, and I could be completely warm in my bed once I got my body heat to heat up under the duvet. This is a handmade piece that was a part of my wedding, and if you are in the lore, I'm getting divorced, but I think it's super, super beautiful, and I feel like it kind of is symbolic of, I don't know, I guess like salvaging things from my old life and keeping promises to myself of love and safety and security and home. Moving on, so this bed, the actual bed frame is from my grandma. I used to sleep in it when I was a little kid, and it's not the most comfortable. Like, there's no springs under here. There's just wooden boards, but it's not the most comfortable bed, but it does have storage. I keep my paraphernalia in here. I keep more stuff in there. And considering how low I am on storage, that's super nice. And then I have some of my favorite books or books that I want to read in here. Next to my bed, I have this cool little like nightstand thing that my dad made me, and I keep my journals in there, and I keep a little candle. I made this little granny square, what's it called, coaster thing, and I put stuff there when I'm in bed, like my phone or I don't know, charger, portable charger, headphones, whatever. Okay, over here is my stove. It is oriented towards the bed so that when I'm in bed, I can see how much, like where the fire is at and whether I need to put more wood on it or not, which is really nice. And next to it, I have this really cool little like wooden container thing that my dad also made me for the purpose of storing firewood, which is pretty cool. It doesn't look very cute right now because I have a bunch of paper and just like random crap in there that I'm gonna burn tonight. But yeah, it's functional, not just there for aesthetics, although it's a super beautiful carrier. On top of the stove, I have a kettle.
I can boil water very quickly, and even when I'm not boiling water to use for, a late night snack or tea or whatever, it's really nice to have a little bit extra humidity going on. And I have this cool fan that is run by the power of the heat, and a little thermometer that tells me how hot the fire is. So I have Romeo's dog bowl down here. I'll move it further away from the fire when the fire is going. And look at this guy. He's like, I found my spot. He's so cute. Over here in this corner, I have two dressers. This one has all of my dance stuff in it. I'm a professional dancer, so I have a lot of dance outfits and accessories and costumes that I've made. So that's what's in here. On top of here, I have my sort of like toiletries and stuff I use every day, like my glasses cleaner, even though my glasses are always dirty, so you wouldn't know I have a glasses cleaner. Hairbrush, whatever. Got my main jewelry box, some rings, whatnot. Another piece of artwork I made, a doll that I made, a mask I got in Spain. I have a floor-length mirror tucked in here. It would be great if I could actually hang it, but it's better than nothing. I'll just like crouch down to check out my outfits or whatever. Over here underneath the headboard, I keep my big laundry basket for dirty laundry. And then behind there, I have another basket with a bunch of random like sweatshirts and jackets. And then also 2 stuffed animals from my childhood that I will always keep with me, at least until I have a child in my life that wants them. Over here is my main dresser. It just has all of my clothes in it. And I have my mom's old jewelry box from when I was a kid, another magical box, and then a box with a secret drawer in it that my dad had since he was a little kid and gave to me. I have a little mirror, which I will move around to do makeup or wash my face or whatever. I have some cool little tiny Polidoro print. I have a piece of fox skin from Roadkill that my sister got me from a cool artist. I have a elk, at least I think it's elk, it might just be deer, but I have an antler knife that my dad made me, and some other little boxes of trinkets and things. Moving on, we really use every sliver of space in here. In here, I have my like hairbands and kerchiefs, of which I have a lot. I store extra towels in here. I also have a drawer for towels in here. Random extra box of sewing stuff. This is a giant tapestry, a Polidoro tapestry that I'm in love with. There's really no way for me to put it up. It's like on its side right now, upright. I think I'm gonna bring it to my friend's house and put a different tapestry back here. But I like I like the colors, so that's why it's there for now. This is like my writing desk. I also very occasionally will eat a snack here, but I try not to eat in the yurt because it's not mouse proof at all, and I had a lot of mouse problems when I first moved in. So I mostly use this as a desk. I have a cool holder that my dad made me for all of my hard drives. I have a painting of Jackie Faber from the Jackie Faber historical pirate book series. It's like sliding down. Ugh. That I got from the author when I wrote him fan letter when I was like 12. This like rock dog artwork that my dad made, a bunch of random cool rocks, trinkets, etc. This cabinet is doing well. First of all, this is my broom closet. I keep my broom whatever, broom pan, and I just use random boxes of trash can. I just got rid of my last one and now I'm using a shoe box. Yeah, this cabinet does a lot of work. Up here, I have some dry food stuff. I have like nuts and chocolate, like little snacks for when I'm hungry in the middle of the night. I have some tea in here. I'm going to eventually just have this be kind of like a tea and herb shelf because I keep my food out of the yurt anyway. Like, I don't know why I have cans of pumpkin in here. I did originally use this as like more of a food storage area until I was having mouse problems. I also have a random file in here, so this might be a filing cabinet at the bottom. On top of here, I keep a towel that I use to wipe dirt and mud off of Romeo, some extra candles, and a lamp that I can quickly take outside. Also my new hat that I've been wearing all the time, but especially when it rains. This is like the ultimate junk drawer. I have so much random stuff in here. Dog poop bags, paper towels, masks, yeah, just a bunch of random shit. And it's all in a drawer, so you don't have to see it, which is great. This is the Romeo drawer. I keep his treats up here, and then in here I keep his dog food in a snap close container, and that just keeps it, it has like a double protection basically of this container and the cabinet, which has magnetic doors to keep Romeo and the mice out. I have another fanny pack. That's my second most used fanny pack up there. And then I have my shoe rack down here and the door. And that's pretty much it. It's very functional in here. On the walls, while I was putting up the yurt, I put a bunch of textiles that either are meaningful for me or that I've been saving up. As a sewist, I'm very textile oriented. Like, this is a vintage quilt that I thrifted. This is a linen sheet that I used to use for my old king size bed. Actually the duvet cover, I took it apart. That's another duvet cover. That is a hand dyed photography backdrop that I sacrificed for the yurt. Another sheet, a curtain, a piece of a tapestry that I got in Spain, and that just gives it an overall cozy feel. My dad also made me this cool bone, I don't know, like art ceremonial stick thing. So yeah, overall, I feel like I live in like a snow globe or a music box, or I don't know if I'll find another metaphor, but it feels like I live in a tiny bubble of my favorite things, and it feels so cozy and restorative and lovely in here. And it does get really messy if I don't clean because there's not that much space, but it's also really quick to clean. Like, it took me maybe like 2 hours to clean from it being, well, maybe even just an hour, from it being like a complete disaster today, including folding laundry and stuff like that. Whereas when I lived in a full-sized house, it felt like just an absolute never-ending cleaning situation. I do want to get My camera died earlier. I'm out on a walk now, but I hope you enjoyed the tour of my yurt. I do want to clarify that when I say it's a 19-foot yurt, I mean it's 19 feet across. That is the diameter of the circle. It is, I believe, 285 square feet on the inside, and even though it's small, it doesn't feel small in a claustrophobic way. At least not when it's relatively clean and it's not raining. The ceilings are only 5 feet tall, or maybe like 4.5 on the outside of the yurt, but in the middle, I haven't actually measured, but it's significantly higher than my head, and the vaulted nature of the ceiling makes it feel really spacious, and I have quite a bit of floor space that I'm not even using with furniture and whatnot. I left that big space by the door, which I use for doing yoga, and then also just to have plenty of room to set stuff inside or take my gear off when I'm coming inside, so it doesn't feel like I'm just immediately running into everything else, and to make it a little bit easier to clean, because definitely the most challenging part is keeping the entryway clean and not tracking too much dirt and mud inside. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.